let you lead it in today. Close the door, Luna.
Alright, we are live.
All right, well, hello everybody. Welcome to Metal Truthers. This is Wraith. I'm here with Brandon. We're here for the episode tonight. Brandon has most of the details. So, Brandon, what are the topics and what's going on?
I want to get your opinion on Oprah Winfrey running for president in 2020.
Hold on, real quick.
Alright. Alright, not sure what's going on, but I'm sure he'll be back.
Sorry about that. Had to deal with my kiddos for a second.
Hey, it happens. But yeah, so Oprah Winfrey running for president in 2020.
A narcissistic female that perpetuates race baiting. Best friends with Hillary Clinton. Celebrity running for president, and yet people bitched and complained about Trump being a celebrity.
Yeah, pretty much.
Back. Shit. Who knows? It's just probably in watch. She'll have a book coming out soon. It's probably a publicity stunt.
I don't know. It seems pretty serious.
Give me 2 seconds. Go ahead and talk about it a little bit yourself. I had to deal with my daughter.
Hey, no, you good. Sorry, been a little bit sick. I guess working out in the cold's finally starting to catch up to me. But now, she seems pretty legitimately hell-bent on running for president, as if, it wasn't fucked up enough that, literally anybody can run for president now. We have Oprah.
All right, I'm back.
Okay.
My daughter wants to not listen right now. She's kind of at the age where she's got a little attitude on her, and it
Yep.
is. I had to let her know real quick. Daddy doesn't put up with this bullshit, and you know it. Anyway, yeah, so, just another narcissistic bitch running for office. She'll probably win strictly on the premise that it's a black female running for president. I mean,
Well,
let's be real.
did you hear the speech that she made at the Golden Globes?
No, I did not, but I can tell you right now, if she runs for president, I'm almost fucking positive on the premise that she's a black female. That's all it takes. I mean, hell, dude, I voted for Obama simply because he was black back in, because I wanted to prove I wasn't racist kind of bullshit. And
Yeah.
look where that got us. But nonetheless, that same mentality, they're going to tug at the heartstrings up to the election. For a lot of us, especially straight white men at this point, they're going to vote just so that we'll stop being targets for everybody and their mother to blame us for their fucking problems and their shortcomings.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I mean, literally, she could run on a campaign on the slogan that literally says, "If you vote for me, I'll make sure that straight white men aren't targeted by everybody and the
Yeah,
scapegoat for everything anymore." And she'd have everyone's vote in America on from the white male populace just because we're tired of hearing it.
pretty much, yeah.
Like motherfuckers can't differentiate between your everyday white American, the racist white Americans, and then the rich white motherfuckers that run everything that they should be mad at. I mean, I listen to this shit every other day, dude. I know how people think nowadays, and it's fucking ridiculous. We've gone back to a tribe. We're all trying to find our little cliques to click up with now because everybody feels that shit's about to go down, and you want people on your side, you know?
Right.
I mean, who knows? It may be Trump, it may be the next president. We don't fucking know, but shit's gonna hit the fan. I think 2018 is gonna be a fucked up year, no matter which way you slice it. Everybody's trying to look on the bright side. I'm telling people they need to get prepared. So,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
you know, it is what it is. You know, you're either gonna live in the dark your whole life, or you're gonna fall for the charades. And like, just like the other day, I don't know if you saw, we got a comment on our last week's or the week before that. This dude was like, "Oh, y'all are fucking dumbasses sitting there talking about you fighting against the system, and then you ask for Zionist money." It's like, motherfucker, let me explain something to you because obviously you're on the internet, you're trolling to my channel, so obviously you're on YouTube. If you ain't living with your parents, you're got a job, you're paying for your internet, you're in the same motherfucking system. The only reason we ask for assistance is because, like I said, I've had to stop myself 2 different times now and mute out so that I can deal with my kids because we're doing this episode before they went to sleep. So, you know, it's a constant battle with me. If y'all want me to do content constantly for me to be able to tell them to go to the other room like I did just now, and they're pretty much having to stay in the room because they're extremely loud because they like to play. I'm not going to tell them to quit playing just so I can work. Like,
Of
to get
course.
something out of it because otherwise, basically, my kids are confined to their room right now. This is a small ass apartment, so what it is. But I'm still doing one for y'all. But yeah, to that troll ass motherfucker, you can go suck a dick. You don't like how we run things? I've said it before, and I'll continue to say it. You don't like my channel? Get the fuck out of here and don't come back. Like on some real shit, I don't do it to please anybody. I do it so that people think outside the box. We're fighting against the system, but at the same time, we still have to live in the system. So until everyone rallies together and figures out a way to overturn that system, while at the same time banding together so that the entire world isn't falling apart, I'm not just gonna fucking go out of the system entirely and not have anything to provide for my kids. You got me fucked up, homie. Like, huh.
Of course.
You have to fight the system within the system, and right now ain't nobody willing to fight. So I'm not going to throw my liberties and my freedoms away and not provide for my children just so that you can say, well, at least he's being for real. He talks about not liking the bankers and he doesn't use the money. Well, yeah, I wish we couldn't. I've half the shit I get, I barter and trade for. What the fuck are you talking about? Like at this point, I don't even work. That's why, like, fucking like I said, I could sit here and research news all day, but it got depressing. And if I'm not going to get paid to push myself to the brink of insanity for this, then I'm not. It's not worth my livelihood and getting so wound up and frustrated over this shit. Back in the day, I did it all the time. Why? Because I had a really good job, so that wasn't compounded stress. Now I don't have a job at the moment. I'm a stay-at-home dad, which frustrates the shit out of me. Therefore, I'm not willing to add even more stress getting thrown back into the turbulence of the world stage and shit like that.
Right.
Appreciative douchebags like that guy. Straight up, real shit. They don't like it. Fuck off our channel. We don't need you. We didn't ask for you to show up. Nonetheless, diversing away from that, let's not even talk about Oprah Winfrey anymore. Fuck her. She's irrelevant. If she runs, she'll win. We know that. End of story. Especially if Trump's the only other running person, which I hear he's going to run again. So
Yeah, he's definitely going to run
that's
again.
if he doesn't get impeached. But that's only if they don't get him impeached, because if they get him impeached, he can't run again, which is why Bill Clinton never ran again.
Right. So, I mean, what grounds do they even have to impeach him on?
I don't fucking know. They're trying to come up with shit.
So, I mean,
Dude, this has been going on since last year. I don't even keep up with it anymore, but they've been filing the motion, went to the Senate, what, like right before Christmas? Like, fucking, it's still in the works. It hasn't gone anywhere. They're still trying to get him impeached on grounds that he's a terrorist and a white supremacist.
that's just it. He's not. I mean, he's
Well, he's a
literally.
white male who happens to be straight. So, in there, in like the average American's eyes, that equals Hitler. Dude. Most people look at me and they automatically assume I'm like part of the Aryan nation at this point or something. And I'm like, man, I don't even affiliate myself with that kind of shit. Fuck off.
I mean, same here. It's stupid shit.
Like, fucking, I hang out with metalheads and juggalos. I ain't got time for racists.
Same here.
Like, on some real shit. I ain't got time for none of that trivial bullshit. People trying to divide everyone over race and religion. I give a fuck less about none of that. I don't even care what your sexual preference is, as long as you don't try and like force yourself on me and I don't want it. Like, I don't give a fuck what you do with your life, as long as your life doesn't interfere with the process of my life. Now, once you start interfering with me, then we have a problem. Like, normalizing pedophilia affects me now because I have multiple children. I get kind of heated over the idea of pedophiles. Now, if I didn't have any kids, I'm not going to lie. That's probably, even though I know it's disgusting, it's still not a fight I'd be as invested in should I not have kids. That's the reality of life. Yeah, you can be invested in the fight, but until you have until you have a horse in the race, you're really not going to run the race that hard. You feel me?
Right.
Like, you're not going to hedge your bets unless you know you've got a horse in that race. Well, when it comes to that shit, I have multiple horses in that race, and I don't fucking approve of it. I don't like anyone that I find out could be even remotely a pedophile. Like, I will beat your fucking head in. Children are
Same
off
here.
limits. Anybody under the age of 18 should be considered like fucking off limits.
I completely agree with you.
I mean, in some rare cases, I could maybe allow, like, if the parents understood and were okay with it, like, if a 16-year-old or 17-year-old who was mature enough to make their own decisions decided to, like, invest in a relationship with someone that was older, I can't really, I don't know how I would feel about that. Like, with my daughter, that motherfucker would have to be a really cool motherfucker, because if not, he'd probably die. I mean, but I'm overprotective of my children. There nowadays, people don't really care. There are instances where I could see it, and doesn't that person necessarily shouldn't be considered a pedophile, but they're instantly like, there's a fucking limit, and that limit is definitely well over 15. Maybe 16 at the like very limit, but like anything younger than that, you're really fucking treading into some territory. And like the fucked up part is most of these pedophiles that want the shit normalized aren't even people that like, might be in love with their neighbor's teenage daughter. These motherfuckers that are in love with their neighbor's 2-year-old baby. These are some twisted ass people, and this movement's getting bigger and bigger, dude.
Oh yeah, I know.
I
I
mean,
mean, they're.
I don't know who the fuck's supporting this kind of shit, but those people should be stoned as well. I mean, I get trying to be supportive of LGBT and all this kind of shit, and I have no problems with people that support gay rights and shit like that. But when you start trying to say that pedophiles are normal people and they should just be accepted, well, then I'm just, I feel like your existence has run out that it was meant to run,
Yeah,
and your time is very borrowed,
most
you know?
definitely. I mean, it's when you start fucking saying that it's
I mean,
normal.
if you look at the way the world is right now, dude, you can literally pinpoint where everything went wrong. And it's when the last generation of parents stopped really caring about how the kids were raised. They stopped caring about the kids because TV started entertaining them, video games started entertaining them. Like, in all reality, dude, my generation is the threshold. Like, we were the ones that went from playing outside, outdoors all the time to by our late teens, we were inside playing video games because they were the big thing. That watched it all change, and it was our generation's parents that stopped giving a fuck. And now we're trying to raise up the next generation, and we're doing a fucking horrible job of it. You know?
Yeah, we really are. I mean, just like you just said, we let fucking video games, TV, and music raise our kids instead of us stepping up and being parents.
And I admit
And
that I'm guilty of it too. Like, I turn on the TV and I tell my kids to, hey, just watch TV for a bit. Like, because I've got, like, to an extent, like, man, mom, half the time I've got shit I'm trying to do, or I've got things I've got going on. And where I live, I don't trust letting my kids run around outside and play. Like this day and age, it's not like it was when we were growing up. You don't really feel
yeah,
comfortable just letting your kids play in your front yard anymore, or even in your backyard. You can't feel safe letting your kids play nowadays because you never know if there's some kind of fucking creepazoid down the street that's gonna hop your fence and try to run off with your kid.
yeah. I
And
mean,
like truly, dude, the world's in a sad state of affairs because that's not just America that this is happening in. This is all around the world. This is like a fucking virus that's spreading where motherfuckers are just, they see kids and they're like, fuck it, let's kidnap them and put them in the trade. Like, even know.
right. I mean, it's. I mean, like you said, you can't just.
I mean, in the reality, dude, like, I'm like willing to take this show from like a point where we just discuss news to where we're actually having to discuss like these world topics, these things that are changing so rapidly and becoming normalized that, like, man, like, fuck, I started this show because I wanted to fight for the, freedom for my kids to still consider themselves to grow up in a free country and shit like that. But at this point, like, man, I'm halfway leaning towards America needs an authoritarian government. We can't govern ourselves. We've got too many fucking morons coming out of the school systems that can barely count, let alone do anything efficiently. Nobody wants to learn any trades anymore because hard work's too inconvenient and it busts a sweat. That's too much of a hassle. I mean, dude, it's gotten ridiculous.
No, we've got a bunch of entitled pussies that think they should make $20 an hour to flip burgers at McDonald's.
I mean, dude, I've got homies that, are in their early 20s now. And these people are fit, that's able, but like they barely want to work. They look at it as a fucking issue that they have to get up and go to work all the time to earn money. And like, dude, I'm one of these people that I know trades and I know skills. I'm fucking trapped in my house because I have to watch my kids.
Yeah,
I don't have the ability to work like I want to. And if I did have the ability, up going to bills and things my kids want and need, like I still wouldn't have shit for myself because society's not set up to where someone our age at this point can progress in life. We're like, we have to settle for what we've got and make best with it.
right.
Like the American dream is gone,
Oh,
in
yeah,
my
definitely.
opinion. I heard someone talking about it earlier, and the truth is, the original American dream was everyone to get handed everything by the government and just be able to say whatever you want, whenever the fuck you want. America was originally a place where foreigners could come here, bust their ass, and actually achieve something and then give their kids the lives that they never had. They would, if they worked hard enough, property to their kids. They could put their kids through college. They could do all the things that they wish they had been able to have done for them for their kids. But the whole point of it was you had to come to this country and bust your fucking ass to do it. Why do you think? You know, I have a problem with a lot of white motherfuckers nowadays because they talk shit about Mexicans. At least they fucking come here and work their asses off.
Exactly.
Yeah, they take their money back home. You want to know why they're taking all their money back to Mexico? Because America is so goddamn inflated and corrupt. It's easier for them to take the money that they busted their ass for here, go there and actually be able to buy the things that they should have been able to buy here. And then they're going and living the American dream in their home country because America has made it to where you can't live the dream anymore. You can come here, you can bust your ass and make the money, but if you want to actually own anything, you're going to have to go to another country that's not as quite as stabilized as ours. And you're going to have to put up with whatever you got to put up with. But, and dude, I used to hate people for it. I used to knock them. I was all, fucking, I can understand the wall, that kind of shit. But, like, the more I've thought about it, dude, the more I'm getting tired of hearing these kids bitch and seeing people that are born and raised in America, able bodied, they're younger than me, their health's in pretty damn good for like functioning motion. Why don't you go out and bust your ass? Why don't you go out and earn something? Get the American dream that you keep bitching about. Because, like, and I don't feel bad for kids that went to college and they're like, oh, well, I've got all these loans. So, well, you're the fucking one who volunteered to go there. No one told you to go to college. I think college is a scam, but you chose to do that. And the fact that you knew going in there that the chances of you coming out with a job in the field that you went in there to get your degree for are slim to fucking none to begin with. Damn fault. That's not my fault. That's not Brandon's fault. That's not fucking Trump's fault. That is your fault. You chose to do it. Now suck it up, Buttercup, and pay your dues. You know?
I mean, yeah, and then
I didn't go to college because I didn't feel like going to get my GED after I dropped out of high school. I could have gotten my GED, but why do I want to go pay for a piece of paper so that then I can go get grants and loans to go to school to get another fucking piece of paper that means absolutely goddamn nothing? Your certifications mean fucking nothing. Do you think back in the old days you had to be certified to be a doctor and stitch a motherfucker up? Hell no. You didn't have to be certified. If you knew how to do it, you did it. Most people knew how to take care of themselves fairly well when it was to an extreme. Yes, there were people who were specifically trained in that profession. They didn't need certifications. You just gave them a payment and they fucking did their job.
well, see, the thing is,
They
people
didn't
aren't
have to go to school for many years. It was usually taught to them from birth. I mean, that's the way society used to be. People were taught certain traits through their families from birth. Almost, pretty much from the time that you were old enough to walk and talk, they started teaching you how to do shit functional, and
yeah,
function in a society.
But no, one of the biggest.
Now, from the age that our kids can walk and talk, we throw them into a corporate fucking mechanism for 8 hours a day, teaching them how to be productive line workers and nothing more. Obedient robots that say and do whatever the system tells them to say and do.
See, one of the biggest problems is people aren't going to school to be engineers and doctors and welders and machinists and stuff like that. They're not going to school for anything productive. They're going to school to be fucking feminist dance therapist and fucking women's studies counselors.
Well, even not in that shit, dude. The people that do go to school to be doctors and lawyers and shit like this don't have the kind of hiring rate that they did anymore because there's so many people that they were told that it was guaranteed they would have jobs when they went to school for these 8, 9, 10-year programs that they had to do to get their doctorates and their masters and all this shit. finally get it all, they get out there and then they find out that every position, unless they want to uproot to either another state or sometimes even to another country, they don't have a fucking job. There is no job. Welcome to McDonald's. You may I take your order is in their near future. You know what I mean? And that is the scam that I'm talking about. That's what people need to wake the fuck up to. Investing all your time and energy into this shit just to find out when you get out that there are no openings in the field that you went to school for all that time. And a waiting list, you have to fill out applications and all this shit, but in the meantime, you still have to eat. You still have to put gas in your car to go fill out your applications. You need money for bus tokens, whatever. So guess what you end up doing with your 10-year doctorate? You end up going to McDonald's or a car wash or your local grocery store, your local gas station. And then your job becomes cash or credit. End of fucking story. There's no future there. You people need to wake the fuck up. That's why I'm like, man, dude, it's like we tell people all this shit. They don't fucking listen. And then you see comments like that dude's the other day talking all this bullshit when, dude, how the fuck are you even commenting? If you weren't part of the system, you sure as fuck wouldn't be on YouTube listening to videos. I promise you that. Because you wouldn't have the internet. You wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't have a smartphone. You wouldn't have shit if you weren't living in their system. So, you can fuck right the fuck off, hypocrite. Like, I ain't trying to be a hypocrite. I understand that I have to play a part in the system for now, but that doesn't mean we can't fight the corruption in the system. Point it out. We can't do it all by ourselves, so we still got to get more people awake. That's the point of the videos, you fucking retard. Sorry, I'm still kind of heated about that moron, like, people, man. Like, he's busy trying to talk shit about people on YouTube, trying to get people to think outside the box rather than, instead of talking shit, why don't you make a 10-minute video talking about how to live off the system? Why don't you do something productive? Why don't you find a way to get us out of the fucking trap? You're not. So, simply, I don't give a fuck about your opinion. It's irrelevant and it's just about as worthless as you are. I mean, you feel me? Like, I ain't got time for this bullshit. I ain't got time to worry about what other people think because other people are irrelevant. Y'all aren't doing anything. Other people are just clicking on videos. Occasionally you'll like, share, but you don't start your own YouTube channel because you're afraid that if you get noticed, then you can't fly. Or if you're on government assistance, if you happen to say something, they're going to strip your little privileges away from you. And you don't like that. You don't like putting yourself out there. Me and Brandon don't lightly give a fuck. We've already been flagged. We do not give a flying fuck. We'll keep doing it. Eventually, they're probably going to kick in our doors and tell us that our freedom of speech has run its course. And, when that day comes, so fucking be it as well. I don't care. We've reached 30 people. That's 30 more people that are at least hopefully thinking outside the box every time they watch our videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yes, we do ask for donations because this stuff isn't easy. We do have lives outside of Metal Truthers, which is why y'all aren't getting as much content anymore because Brandon has to work all the time. He's asleep. And me, I'm 24/7 a stay-at-home dad. And if I don't have all three of my kids, I have two of them. Unless I do y'all an episode late at night when they're asleep, I have to juggle like whether because like I said, right now they're stuck in their room. They could be out here with me if they wanted to, but they'd be too loud, and that would interfere with us doing our episode. So y'all want more out of us. You appreciate what we're doing because, like I said, this channel I started it for me just so I could get my thoughts and opinions out there and like-minded people that were seeing the same patterns I was. Like when I get my mind set back in the right state of mind, to be able to look at world events every day and keep putting all these pieces to the puzzle together for y'all. You know what I mean? Like we'll be back in full force. I mean, shit. Out of the 5 years we've been running, can any one person say that I wasn't almost dead on with the way I was putting my pieces together, you know?
Right.
I mean, half the shit that's happened since we started this channel that I saw coming forward happened. It may not have happened exactly when I expected it to. It may have been later on down the line, but they still played the same cards I said they were going to play. A little bit of, understanding. And I'll get back into that. But, dude, I'm not going to lie. I got frustrated. I got angry towards the end. Like, I was getting so negative because of all the shit I was exposing myself to on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Like, it got to a point where I finally just sat it down a little bit and backed off because I didn't want to get wrapped up in all this negative shit anymore. And it honestly felt like didn't nobody appreciate what we were doing. But nonetheless, we'll get back on. I mean, it's all a matter of getting some shit locked down. As soon as I can get service on my phone, then I can start doing solo episodes. But until I have at least some service on my phone, I really can't do much because the internet here is just shit. It won't. We'd be better off like just doing what we're doing right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll once I get a new phone, I will actually start doing solo episodes myself with some news updates and stuff like that.
I mean, shit. If somebody wants to send me like $100, $150 to get like just a cheap Go phone and a little monthly service card, I'll find a way to cover the monthly service. If somebody wants to pay that initial like 100, $200, I'm gonna need to get the new shit. Like, other than that, y'all are shit out of luck because I don't own a computer anymore and I don't have service on my phone. And this phone's about to crap out anyway, so I have to get a new one to do what I need to do.
Right.
Like, real life sucks. It's a bitch. You know, we're not entitled. I don't have family members to help me out with this kind of shit like most people do. I have to figure out everything on my own. Huh. So. But dude, this next presidential election is gonna be trash, dude. I'm already telling everybody, like, don't even vote this next year. I'm done. I'll shut down Metal Truthers. Like, if anybody subscribed to this channel actually votes in the next election, I promise you I will shut down this channel because y'all didn't learn a goddamn thing. You know, everybody wants to complain about how horrible life is and how hard America is and all this shit and that shit, but when y'all have a way to avoid all this, a way to prove that the system's rigged, y'all don't want to listen and y'all do what y'all do anyway. Y'all still go to the polls like a bunch of sheep and vote for whoever looked the best during the election run.
Making a difference.
Yeah, like, I was hoping Trump would be something different, and maybe he is. I don't believe it. I think everything that's happening right now is a double-edged sword. Even the stuff that looks good, I don't trust it because, man, there's too many other things that are lining up. Everything good he's doing, it's like he's also trying to set us up for more wars for Israel. And anybody that supports somebody, I have to be wary of, and I cannot trust them. Therefore, Trump is not to be trusted. He didn't mean. You know, the fucked up thing too is automatically nowadays, if you don't support Israel, you're a fucking Nazi. Well, fuck you too. I'm not a Nazi just because I don't like a genocidal fucking nation that I don't even feel has a right to exist where it does. I mean, You show me some evidence that that is exactly where Israel is, and how come Israel's borders seem to expand every 10 or so years? Like, get to tell y'all exactly how much land Israel actually owned? I mean, it's kind of like the whole rights thing. Like, how come God decided that every nation deserves a different number of rights, and why are not all rights given to every nation? I mean, there's some things that people have to think about that
Oh
they
yeah,
just
definitely.
don't, you know?
I mean, that ties back into the whole brainwashing thing.
Exactly, dude. But
You know,
shit,
I
how
mean,
do you feel
it's
about like all these biblical prophecy things that people keep? I'm not even gonna lie, dude. There are some fucking lines you can draw in the sand that kind of do like, who knows? I mean, maybe the world elites are playing it out so that it specifically ends a certain way to trick everyone, but nonetheless, like, man, you can't lie. Man, there are some pieces of that puzzle that, you know, even from an outside view, you can go, holy shit, that kind of did happen. Well, that's strange. You know?
well, yeah. No, I think the thing is, like, I think they're setting everything up to basically throw people off and have people elected to power their pawns.
Well, our elected officials are game, you know? And I mean, who knows? I mean, all these ancient texts speak of the end times. Even Norsemen have Ragnarok. I mean,
Well, of
the end
course.
comes at some point, but hey, like whoever's, you know, maybe the Bible is the code book that these elites are running by, or that's their rule book for now, but like some shit that's a little bit more than coincidental, if you ask me. You know, it's just like kind of looking back in Nostradamus's prophecies, and we're like, oh, well, some people try to dismiss it. Well, you just see what you want to see, and it's like, well, the thing about that is, it's very like this is too much of a coincidence, and coincidences don't really exist, in my opinion. Like, there's no such thing as a coincidence. Everything is black or white. I don't like gray areas. I don't believe in gray areas. Because you can't have a friend that's you know like on in the middle. He's either your friend or he's your enemy. There is no middle ground in life like that. You know, you either like somebody or you don't like somebody. And if you don't like them and you tolerate their presence, well, that's just you tolerating their presence. But nonetheless, if it was a life or death situation, they are an enemy. If they gave you any motivation to attack them, you would. Why? Because they're an enemy, whether you like to admit it or not.
Right.
You know, friends are allies. Look at everything for as a war perspective. Look at life as a giant war field, and you're a strategist, and you have to figure out how to make each move so that you don't lose every day, which is a battle. Every day is a different battle. So you have to figure out how to manipulate the armies you see every day. You feel me? Like that's I think that's why people are lost. Too many people are wrapped up in their everything else and they forgot that life's a battle on its own and you have to strategically fight battles or else you will lose. That's just the nature of warfare. If you don't have your mind on the battle, you can't win the battle. You're not going to walk onto a battlefield playing Pokemon Go and expect to walk out with all your limbs if there's cannon fire going around and you're trying to catch Pikachu. You feel me?
Right.
Metaphorically, life is fucking launching cannonballs at you constantly all day. And if you just have your head rammed up your ass searching for that Pikachu or whatever you're doing every day or that next text message, well, then when that cannonball hits you and your fucking legs get lost, don't blame the rest of the world. It's your fault. You got your shit knocked out from under you.
Exactly.
Now, other people can be the, you know, balls. You feel me? Like, metaphorically, most of the people that walk into your life, you have to understand that their intentions are not to better you in any shape, form, or fashion. And what they can gain. When they realize there's nothing they can gain from you, or things that they wanted they are getting when they want them, they'll disappear really fucking fast. That's the nature of life. These kids need to be taught that, but instead they're being taught some bullshit Care Bears version of reality. And so that once they get out there in the real world and life starts hitting them in the ass, they don't know what to do and they become all emotional and confused because no one ever told them that life's a cruel place. You know?
Right.
I mean, that's why we have presidents like Trump in office. Now, I mean, say what you want. Sure, he does some good. Sure, he does some bad. But he's definitely not somebody that should be leading a country.
No.
You know? I mean,
But I will.
he's a great businessman,
Oh yeah.
but not necessarily the greatest as far as like every man, woman, and child in this country's life depends on whatever kind of decisions he makes. Like, fucking imagine if Oprah became president, just fucking every white person in the country would be fucked. She
Who?
just, the first day she was actually elected to be, you got a felony. You've got a felony. Every white person has a felony. Yay! Happy
It's
death
now.
camps.
It's now a felony to be white.
I mean, dude, she's friends with Hillary, and Hillary openly came out during the election talking about, I think adults need happy fun camps. And, like, you mean FEMA camps? You mean that families need happy death camps, right? Like, no, we do not need happy death camps.
Yeah. No, not at all.
Like, did you not think that half of us read those books about World War II? Not everyone is a complete fucking retard yet. You've still got another generation to take out first. As long as my generation's still around, most of us are waking up to the bullshit. And a lot of the people from, like, I'd say 30 to between 25 to 30 at this point, maybe a little bit younger than that, 24 at the youngest probably, are the generation really waking up and keeping it alive that we're getting fucked and that it's a giant conspiracy and shit like that. Like, they've still got us to contend with. If they can get rid of us and all that's left is this last generation of fucking morons that we see out there, then yeah, it's pretty much done. They've got what they wanted. I mean, we're still fighting the good fight though because we're willing to voice the I guess you could say the unpopular opinion.
Right. I mean, that's pretty much what we built this channel on. So.
Yeah, our channel from the get-go has been technically the unpopular opinion. Because when we first started, we were supporting Bundy Ranch when everybody else was like, fuck that, that's a bunch of white ranchers that nobody gives a fuck about them.
And
Well,
now
I do.
everybody's on their side, it seems like.
Oh, ain't nobody on the Bundy side after Lavoy Finnegan and all that shit went down. Like, the entire country turned against Patriots thanks to that whole fucking thing. I mean, the deep state did exactly what they did, and for the most part, anyone that watches mainstream news has this mentality that patriots are fucking white supremacist, fucking anti-government Nazis. You know, we're all terrorists at this point. If you're supportive of the militias, thanks to that whole situation, the mainstream media painted it like we're all a bunch of fucking crazy gun-toting terrorists that want to see the government taken down because we had a black president. I mean, I'll be damned if America hasn't gotten so much dumber.
My thing is why
And
do we have to focus on race so much?
because that's the main thing. Because if we tried to focus on nothing but religion, divide people as well in this country, because this country is already diverse with religions. And even if they did, there's so many people that just don't give a fuck about religion. At this point in the world, America knows that if it tried to use religion as a divisive tool, everyone would just stop being religious. Like immediately, people would see through the hoax that is religion in general. So they have to keep people pacified through religion, but to keep people from focusing so much on religion, it's race. Now, the big thing is they've got one group of people that they want America to constantly go to war with, and that's Middle Eastern people. That way, Israel can take all these countries' lands once we bond them into tomorrow. You know?
Well, I mean, it's not just that, but everything. Race, race, race. I mean, that's all we hear.
Well, exactly, dude, but that's how they keep you divided. They have to keep you focused on race because if they don't divide us through race, then people stop seeing differences in each other other than religions. If they tried to use the religions to turn everybody against each other, eventually everyone, and as far as Americans go, would turn against religions. Then we would all start working together because we would see that we were being manipulated. They cannot have that. They cannot allow that. Therefore, the mainstream media, the dude, I don't know if you know this, but go check it out. I mean, there's plenty of videos. They've upped the doses of fluoride in our water over the past year and a half, 2 years. And
Oh
they've
yeah,
also added a few extra chemicals into the water now that are supposed to make people even more docile. I mean, they realize that everything's unraveling because people are seeing through it thanks to channels like ours. We're not the main one that does it, but we do a small part. Everyone that does something like this is doing a small part, even if you only have 5 subscribers. I mean, I don't give a fuck about how big you are, or how popular you are, or us, or anything. I don't care if our channel ever gets past, 50 subscribers or not. None of that shit's really that relevant. I just like to see our videos get out there and people to think outside the box and think with their own brains, and have to still live through this system right now. So if you guys have the spare money to donate to any channels that you like, do it, man. People don't just like. Yes, time is free, but the way the system is set up, your time is valuable. Like right now, instead of doing this, I could be playing my apps that I get paid for. Like if I in another like 3 hours, I'll have a grand total of $10 worth of actual money in my PayPal account just from playing apps all day. Like that's how I could be doing surveys that put a little money in my PayPal account. Like I could be doing this kind of stuff, but I'm not. I'm sitting here doing this with you, discussing the world around us.
right.
And then, like, as far as an actual news episode goes, I think tomorrow, if you're up for it. If not, then whenever you are up for it, I'm going to watch some videos, send you links, and I'm going to write down some key notes on some things. And we're going to discuss some of the things that have come within the world just happened since Christmas up to now. Because, like, I mean, you'd be surprised what they got under y'all's noses during the Christmas holidays. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, like I said, this this has become ridiculous as far as like what's happening in our governments around the world. Like we have gotten to a point where none of it really fucking matters at all. We're like it's all a big sham at this point, and it's obvious that it's a sham. They're not even hiding the fact that it's a sham anymore. They're not hiding the fact that they're fucking us over.
Yeah, because the people
But
are so fucking brainwashed that it really don't even matter anymore.
I mean, most people are content with the fact that there's a PlayStation 4. And now this virtual reality technology, that's something that I want to talk about because I told y'all this shit was coming. And I believe 2 or 3 years ago I was talking about it. And we discussed how if virtual reality ever came around, you would see a bunch of kids lost in their own little worlds. And society would inevitably start to collapse as once they started keeping people even more pacified. And I'm telling you, the technologies, man, where people are getting too reliant on technology. It's becoming absolutely ridiculous. The fucking what we thought was science fiction when we watched Demolition Man back in the day is very quickly becoming a reality.
Yeah.
I mean, people laughed at everybody when we were talking about Star Trek and Star Wars and fucking Terminator and all this shit being real life just portrayed in Hollywood. And lo and behold, 5, 10 years down the line, all of a sudden, the same shit we were seeing coming that we kept mentioning, it's there. And by then, it's already too late because not enough people listened to the warnings beforehand. They didn't want to believe anyone. And then it happens and they get confused and scared. Which is exactly what the elites are expecting. They want you to be confused and scared when shit really hits the fan. They want 90% of the population of first world countries, or pretty much anybody that can stand up to them, that they can't just have over militaries walk in and overpower, to be lost in a virtual reality headset when their doors are kicked in.
Right.
Why do you think they're getting people conditioned with these noise canceling headphones and being wrapped up in virtual reality goggles to where the world around you? Why do you think they've been programming us with this shit since Call of Duty and stuff like that, where you got those special perks that as long as you put that third perk on, you could sit there and put your headphones on and hear every little movement that was going on from the characters around you and shit. There's a reason they conditioned everyone to be like that. Then it's only going to get worse from this point, dude. It's only going to get worse because now we are almost all entirely dependent on technology and to its fullest extent. So, like, even us, we're relying on our phones and our computers. Without those, at this point, none of us would be able to communicate. You know, Metal Truthers falls apart when technology falls apart, you know? Because, like, shit, you don't even know where in Texas I am. Like, you could come try and find me, but you'd be searching for a while. This is a big ass state. If you don't have a general idea of where you're going, you might get fucked. I mean, there are good aspects of tech. See, technology can be used for the right things. It's just a matter of getting people on the right track and getting them to stop being complacent with what technology, all the shit that's being put out there to keep us dumb, per se. Technology as the weapon it can be against the elites. I mean, Bitcoin could be an amazing thing as long as it's not already, it may be set up by the Rothschilds. This may just be a big part of their plan. They're trying to kill the dollar. That's one of the best ways to do it. Make everything Bitcoin. That way nobody can work without it anymore. That way money is irrelevant. Everything will be on a plastic card. You can monitor the world.
Well, I mean, hell, it's pretty much like that now. You know, all the jobs and everything are going to direct deposit paychecks.
Exactly, dude. And people thought we were crazy when we were talking about this shit like 5 years ago, man.
Yeah, we
Half
were
the
talking.
people that we knew that were all gung ho to do this channel with us, all of a sudden they thought we were insane and they didn't want, they backed out on it, and now they're seeing everything. Ask them, do y'all want to come on? Their whole thing is, well, I don't want to talk about it because there's nothing I can do about it. So why even? Well, that's your fucking problem right there. Get out of that mind state. Are you gonna be a bitch or are you gonna nut up and be a warrior? Because like fucking shit's gonna hit the fan whether you want it to or not. And if you're caught unprepared with your pants down and you're not willing to fight or not ready to fight, then you're done. You're fucking done. End of story. It's over for you.
Yep.
You know? Like that post I shared the other day, it's like, you know, a wise man once said that it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a time of war.
Definitely.
I mean, I would much rather be a warrior and tend to my fields in times of peace than be a shepherd or a farmer when war hits and not know how to defend myself or my family. Like, fuck all that. You've got to be willing to fight.
Yep.
Everyone that's just sitting there thinking that everything's going to blow over and the world's just going to continue the way it is, y'all need to stop being so fucking goddamn comfortable. Life's about to get very, very rough for you. You will not be ready. If you cannot go more than 2 days without eating something, without getting bitchy or going crazy, you're not going to make it. If you're diabetic or you're got any kind of disease that you need constant medications for, you better stock up or hook up with people that you know are going to be willing to run up in a store and grab what you need or fight people for what you need because life's going to get really fucking tough for you here in the near future. May not be in 2018. It may hold off till 2020, 2030. We don't know. I'm not a fucking fortune teller. I just put pieces of puzzles together better than the average person. I'm just telling y'all what I feel in my guts. That's why I'm always prepared for a fight. And the thing is, the energy in the air is so goddamn negative and turbulent right now. Of the world are so chaotic that I don't really think we have. I don't think we're going to have to wait till 2030. I don't think we're going to have to wait till 2019. I
I
think
honestly don't either.
2018 is going to erupt like Yellowstone this next year if it isn't Yellowstone that erupts. Then I'm not trying to give y'all doom and gloom porn. I don't give a fuck if you get your rocks off to hearing that everything's gonna that you know is gonna crash to a halt. You better stop being comfortable with that shit. Stop being a nihilist. You know? The world is bigger than just you. The world is bigger than just the one people around you. The world is a huge place and humans need to either learn to work together or let's just go ahead and end humanity and let nature restart and maybe the next evolutionary process will figure this shit out because we got it drastically wrong. I mean,
You
it's
know,
either we fucking nut up and we figure this shit out soon, or we might as well just go ahead and push the delete button on human history because it's over. Humans won't exist if we keep this shit up. We're gonna kill ourselves. We're all looking for natural disasters that are gonna wipe us out. We're gonna end up wiping ourselves out inadvertently, trying to act like we know how the fuck the universe works when we have no fucking clue. We can't even figure out if Bigfoot is here, if they exist, or if they're interdimensional. We can't figure out what's at the bottom of our own oceans. We don't know anything about our own planet. And yet, y'all want to sit there and try and tell me that our governments and all these different scientific advancements are going to explain life to us. And man, I don't trust science anymore because every time they tell me something 10 years down the line, they're like, actually, we discovered that what we taught you before and told you was absolute fact is complete bullshit. And we're going to rewrite this book over here now. And yeah, this is the new fact. And then 20 years down the line after that, well, we fucked up again.
Yeah, you're going to accept this
You know, like
because we're telling you.
totally. Who the fuck just decided that Pluto wasn't a planet after like fucking eons of people calling it a planet? Entire like astrology, fucking everything, alchemy, all of that was based with Pluto being a fucking planet, and then all of a sudden, basically alchemy just explained in modern day formats. Y'all just gonna tell me that Pluto isn't a planet anymore? Like, how y'all don't have that kind of power. Y'all do not possess the right to tell me that Pluto is no longer a planet. Who the fuck are you? Who are you? You are nobody. You have a pencil, a piece of paper, and some glasses, you four-eyed bastard. I'll beat you up like we used to in school. I'll throw you in your own goddamn locker. I don't care how much of a head scientist you are. Bet you can still get beat up just like we beat you up in school for being a nerd. You nerd. You lying nerds. Go play Magic the Gathering and quit trying to tell us some shit that y'all don't even know about. Like, I mean, dude, it just pisses me off. And people take this shit as like every time they say something, oh, fucking, we jump off our hills. It's all over the news for like fucking months, years. It's put in all these textbooks. It's taught in school just for like years down the line for them to tell us, by the way, that was completely wrong. We just made this brand new discovery that basically says we've been full of shit for the past like. And what's even sadder is they find a lot of things and then they like suppress the information from us just because it'll fuck up the narrative they've already put out there.
Yeah, I think that's a bigger problem than them
And then when
actually
shit
just
gets
changing
leaked,
shit.
we don't know whether to believe the leaked information or not. And then if it's proven without a shadow of a doubt, then we have to turn around and question every fucking little move, like anybody in a higher academia says, because dude, they hid everything from us. They lied to us, and you can't trust somebody if they're willing to lie to you. Therefore, I mean, people just don't understand why I don't like the school systems and why I say it's not a benefit for any of us to be indoctrinating our kids into these systems that are basically teaching them bullshit. They don't teach them how to function outside of the school system.
No,
You
they
know?
don't.
What did you learn in school that helped you learn to deal with the real world once you got out of school? I mean, name like one thing that you learned in school that taught you how to deal with the real world once you were out of school. You know? I don't think anybody really could.
No.
I mean, we didn't learn anything in school that told us about how the world worked outside. Like, what it is we got out of high school and then we learned that, like, in simple math, not a goddamn thing we learned was relevant to anything that we were going to do outside of that schooling system.
Yeah, for real. I mean, you pretty much get out of school like, I can't balance a checkbook and I don't know how to do my taxes, but thank God I can tell you about the Pythagorean theorem.
Shit, most of us can't even do that,
I can't because
you
personally I
know?
just didn't pay attention. I knew I was never going to use no Pythagorean garbage.
Well, see, the thing is it's all relevant. Everything they taught you, but it all just depends on whether or not you were going to turn your life into studying that one specific thing and do multiple things with your life. You feel me? And like, it's just we got way too comfortable with our lives the way they are now.
Yeah,
And a lot of people take for granted that this is just the way things are always going to be because they see the way things have been in the world and they don't understand that like at the drop of a dime lives could change tomorrow.
yeah,
Everyone's lives could change tonight and all it takes is one trigger happy motherfucker to set off everything. All it takes is one staged event right now, and shit's going to hit the fan in every nation all around the world. And, there's really not much we can do about it other than we could sit back and watch it happen and then go, well, fuck, I guess I saw that coming,
Yeah.
know?
Speaking of which, did you hear about North Korea launching a rocket and hitting one of its own cities on accident?
That actually happens more often than you would think.
I thought it was kind of funny.
Like, believe it or not, that's not exactly a rare occurrence in North Korea. They do
Let's
not
test
have the
this
best
rocket.
aiming capability.
Let's test this rocket. Well, shit. So there goes 20,000 of my own citizens.
Well, that's the lucky thing. Their government doesn't give a fuck about their people.
Well, no, I mean, I knew that.
No, I'm just saying it's really lucky that they don't, or else like they would have to feel bad about all their testing half the time. But like, and I think the way it works there is that their bomb actually kills their own people. They look at it as a success because they're like, well, at least we know it's lethal.
Well, it may not have hit the intended target, but it killed a bunch of people, so we're good.
It go boom on impact. That's what I was looking for. Now we launch bigger bomb. We try to kill more people. You go set up the people. Hold parade event, and then we test our nuclear bomb.
Oh, and have you noticed the surgence of like people that's never been in politics starting to run for governors and stuff?
Well, dude, no offense to Trump, but he opened the door for it. Like the minute he got elected president, now just everybody and their mother. We're gonna probably see Lil Wayne running for Supreme Court at some point, and I'll be goddamned he's gonna get fucking elected for it. Watch.
Well, yeah, he's a rapper. He has millions upon millions of international followers that worship him like a god. So, I mean, yeah, of course he's going to get it if he runs for anything.
But that's what I'm saying, dude. That is the world that we now live in.
Yeah, it is. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. I mean, in all reality, it's depressing as fuck.
Well, that's why I tell people not to get their hopes up when they see all this bullshit about, oh, this guy's talking about changing this. This is going to happen. This is going to get better. They're making all these promises. This guy is going to do this for us. That guy is going to do that for us. Well, I was told as a child that if I ate all my fruits and vegetables, I was going to grow up to be big and strong, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Well, it just so happens I'm about 5'6", and I weigh about 130 pounds. And I ate a lot of fruits and vegetables as a kid. No one told me that being born premature would equate into this factor. Therefore, I was technically lied to my entire life. And yes, I hold a grudge, motherfuckers.
I was told the same thing. I
Well,
could
you're
weigh bench
fat,
press 50
sir.
pounds.
So it worked for you, goddammit.
I grew up big.
It's just it worked a little too well.
I tend to overindulge.
You overindulged on them carrots and got fat.
If you mean chocolate covered carrots, then yeah.
Chocolate covered dicks.
Gross. I'm pretty sure there's a racist remark in that somewhere.
Probably. It's gonna get flagged now.
Yeah, probably.
Son of a bitch. Anything. That or some fat
They
bitch is
said
just gonna like
chocolate.
get mad because there's no actual thing in the world like that unless she covers somebody's dick with chocolate, but nobody wants her because she's fat, so it's gonna frustrate her even more. She's gonna kill herself, and then we're gonna get the heat for it.
You know what? If that happens, I will gladly take the heat for that.
I caused Shamu to beach itself. I'm sorry. It should have used its distress call. Then again, even Aquaman wouldn't save that shit.
Reason number 673 why we're going to hell.
Reason 349 of why we only have 38 subscribers. 37 actually. Somebody left our channel because I think we pissed them off, or we just haven't been putting out enough content for them to give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, they actually left like 2 weeks ago.
Nah. Oh well.
Oh,
Peace out, homie. Hope you survive.
I'm sure we keep doing content and putting stuff out, and we'll make up for it.
Achieve absolutely nothing. I don't mind putting out content. I just wish more people would like at least share the videos every now and then. Like, you don't have to like everything we say or like agree with us or anything like that. We don't necessarily even want people agreeing. Like, I don't need you to validate my opinions. Like, I just want you to understand that this could be a possibility, and if it is, like, fucking more power to you, homie. Like,
oh yeah,
we better be ready to fight the fight.
While I'm thinking about it, what about Jeff Sessions going after the states that's legalized marijuana?
I don't even know about that.
Yeah, apparently the fucking attorney general got rid of the clause that pretty much gave the states rights to the legalization of marijuana.
Well, that's not exactly surprising.
No, not really. I mean, you take an authoritarian like Jeff Sessions. One of the biggest issues.
Take a politician of any kind, really.
Yeah. Oh, one of the biggest issues is Jeff Sessions gets a lot of money from Big Pharma.
Not surprising.
So, I mean, it was only a matter of time before he decided to go after the marijuana anyway. But
I agree with that.
in all reality, Donald Trump ran his whole platform on draining the swamp, and he's not doing a very good job of it.
I think this swamp got bigger.
Yeah. I mean, Mike Pence, come on. You know, fucking Mike Pence, Jeff Sessions, really? That's draining the swamp.
Well, I mean, did anyone actually, like, dude, he ran his entire election on Hillary for prison. That was like one of the main things besides Make America Great Again that we heard. And so far, I'm almost positive Hillary Clinton's not in jail. I mean, I could be wrong on this, but I'm almost positive. I'm willing to put money on the fact that she's not in jail right now.
I'm 150% positive that she's not in prison.
Yeah.
But
Man.
no. Honestly, a big part of the reason she's not in prison right now is the fact that
Because she sucks a mean dick.
I wouldn't know. I'd be afraid to let her too close to it.
Them nasty motherfuckers don't care. They probably pass that bitch around like, okay, I better stop talking. I'm gonna go to jail.
No, you're going to end up accidentally shooting yourself in the back of the head twice.
For real. I'm going to accidentally trip on a nail gun that I don't own.
That's your job that you don't have.
For real. My children will accidentally kill me in my sleep. That's actually liable to happen. Don't let me joke around about that. My kids are crazy. They might get ideas.
One of them little shits decided to put a plastic bag over your head and wrap you in a garbage bag.
I don't think they'd be that smart. I think they'd probably just like sit. One of them would like sit on my chest, and the other one would just like lay on my throat with their knee or something, and like bounce up and down. That's about how my kids do it anyway. They're not even trying to kill me, but they've almost killed me several times. They forget that oxygen is something that we all need.
Your kids are heroes.
Huh?
I said, your kids are my heroes.
I know, right?
They know how to
Well,
murder somebody and get
just
away
think
with
about
it.
me, and then like literally just kind of like think about me and then miniaturize it, and then you have my kids. Except they're even angrier than I am. But they have no reasons to be angry. They're just angry.
I'm just an alcoholic, so.
Right. My kids might possibly attempt to kill me someday. This is something I am slightly prepared for. Not entirely, but slightly.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah. It's just children. Children are evil creatures. They
Yes,
respond
they
from the
are.
depths of Hades. And I mean, according to a lot of people that know me, there does seem to be this reoccurring theme amongst my friends that I'm the Antichrist. So, I'm just waiting on my devil powers. It's taking a little while.
You know, I would gladly accept that title.
I mean, I was literally talking to one of my friends the other day, and he was like, "Dude, can I tell you something without you getting mad?" Well, it just depends on what it is. And he was like, "I kind of think you're the devil." And I was like, "The fuck does that mean?" He's like, "I just think you're the devil. When I think about what the devil would look like if it was a person, I envision you." And I was like, "I don't know whether to be insulted or flattered."
A little bit of both.
Like, I mean, it's not that I'm evil. It's just that I'm not necessarily good.
I'm not bad. I'm just not good.
I don't know. I'm somewhere in between. I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, well, sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Now Eminem's gonna sue me too.
Oh, yay.
How dare he do my song horribly like that?
Dude, with all the publicity he's been getting here lately and his last album that came out that
Oh
was
yeah,
a complete flop.
Hi, my name is Rickaticka Slim Anus. This is why Eminem doesn't allow juggalos at his shows.
Actually, him and ICP's
'Cause
on the.
even though the beef was squashed, a lot of us old school juggalos, like, we kind of never let it go. Eminem ain't nothing but a bitch. We've been saying that for about 15 years, and we'll continue to say it. He was unpopular with us before the whole Trump thing. Now he's just even more unpopular. And most juggalos don't even like Trump. We just got an extra reason to think Eminem ain't nothing but a bitch.
Pretty much.
He kind of proved us right again.
Like,
I don't know how he be hating when he keeps proving motherfuckers right. Like, it ain't our fault you keep acting like a bitch. If you wouldn't act like a bitch, we wouldn't call you one.
my whole thing is,
It's like if Hillary Clinton didn't act like a cunt, I wouldn't call her a cunt. But every time I see her on TV, she just like the word cunt is in my head and it screams at me. And it's like, this bitch is probably a cunt. And then you hear the story about her and you're like, this bitch is definitely a cunt. I'm not being derogatory towards women. She's a cunt. Fuck you.
I mean, I for one
Like
personally
that
love
woman has put
women.
more people underground just for like them trying to live life like, you know, somewhat humanely and decently. Like this bitch is like the Grinch who stole.
The bitch who
I don't
stole
even know,
American
man.
politics.
Not even American politics. She's like the Grinch that stole morality. Like I think I would rather vote for somebody from ISIS for president before I would vote for Hillary Clinton at this point. Because they have less of a body count. Like, he's un-American. Well, not really. It's just, I don't want a psychopathic, like, female version of Netanyahu as my fucking president.
No.
I can do without these things in my life. In fact, there are probably about 100,000 people in one city alone that could do without that in their lives. I mean, this woman pretty much got famous.
Well, I
Look
mean,
like shit.
that's because most of the people that's ever had Hillary Clinton in their lives are now dead.
I think Bill Clinton might actually be dead. We just can't tell because he's some sort of zombie.
She got the boys to go in the basement and do a resurrection ritual.
For real. Somebody needs to resurrect her common sense.
How can you bring back something that never existed?
Shut up, sir.
I'm just saying.
Well, then artificially inseminate that bitch with some conscience.
If you want to stick your arm up in that, be my guest.
Somebody needs to give her the long arm of justice.
I'm afraid
And
the
her
inner
anus.
demon would come out and chew it off.
Bitch ain't got no inner demons. That shit's all on the exterior. Have you ever looked at that bitch? Rabbit turtle.
Did you
Man,
say
I've
she
never
has the
seen
eyes
it.
of a turtle?
No, I said she looks like a rabid turtle. Like I've never seen a turtle with rabies before, but I assume it looks like Hillary Clinton. I don't know if that is that can that be considered defamatory?
I'm going to Google this and see if turtles could get rabies.
They can. Have you not seen Hillary Clinton? I'm gonna get shot. I should stop, man. I should really stop. I'm gonna end up like accidentally on purpose stabbing myself to death.
So apparently that is a that's actually a pretty prominent question on Google apparently.
Oh, so other people looked at Hillary too?
Do what?
So I guess some other people looked at Hillary too and had the same question.
Apparently. Animals who are not mammals, such as birds, fish, turtles, and snakes, cannot carry rabies.
I didn't say she carries it. I said she has it. She is rabies. She is rabies personified from a turtle.
Oh. They
That
don't.
bitch has it.
Turtles cannot get rabies, but they do carry salmonella.
She is some salmon and vanilla. Some sour vanilla. That should be her. She should start a rap album and call herself Sour Vanilla. Ah, that's a good one. I'm gonna keep that.
Say that one more time.
It's copyrighted now. Sour Vanilla. That's
Sour
just Sour
vanilla.
Vanilla. Oh man,
Sometimes I worry
I
about
can't
things.
believe that like she's still alive, man. Like I really can't. Like after all the shit that came out, bullshit. This bitch is still here,
She refuses
still
to give
alive.
up. I
Somebody needs to
mean,
pull the plug.
no matter how much you hate Hillary Clinton, how much shit you talk about her and everything, you got to give her an A for persistence.
I ain't giving her shit.
I mean, her and Bernie Sanders
I just
both.
want to know. I want to know what kind of like fucking black magic she's been doing though, because like I need to get a hold of some of that shit. It obviously works wonders, and I need some. Huh.
I mean, between her and Bernie Sanders,
Well, Bernie
Bernie
Sanders though,
Sanders,
he's
mainly just because he's lived as long as he has.
well, that and like with him, he probably he could be one of them old people that actually took care of themselves and ate right, and didn't get the Alzheimer's and shit. He probably never got a vaccine a day in his life.
Probably not.
I mean,
I know he smokes more pot than Willie Nelson.
well, that's probably to keep that reptilian hidden inside.
Oh my God.
Good old David Ickle. Like, Idjit. That fucking Idjit.
Oh yeah, where do you stand on the reptilian conspiracy?
I stand on who the fuck knows. Seen one transform in front of me, but then again, I don't think I've been in front of like too many politicians while they were hungry. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I just guess I'd have to catch them around lunchtime.
Well, I mean, some of the videos I've
I mean, if
seen,
I see a politician eat a baby, I guess I could say, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure they eat babies, but I haven't seen that yet, so I'm not positive yet that they eat babies. But they might. They might. There is the possibility.
well, I mean, you can look up videos on YouTube of Hillary Clinton like tucking a tail away and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, but a lot of that could be good fucking video editing.
That is possible. That is very possible.
I mean, it's amazing what people do with Photoshop nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody took a horse's ass and turned it into Hillary Clinton. Come on now. No, they do. There's all kinds of videos like that. I used to watch them when I was first waking up to everything, but now I really question the legitimacy of half of that shit.
Yeah. Which, I mean, in all
Because
reality,
I had to ask myself, like, if it was true, why would the elites allow themselves to have like tons of videos out there of them doing this kind of shit? You know?
yeah. But I mean, then again, they don't have time to sit and pick and choose through every single video that's uploaded.
Fuck, they don't, dude. If our channel of 38 subscribers has had videos flagged before, then
Good point.
I
Good point.
mean, like, we ain't nobody. The Google algorithm shouldn't even know that we exist.
Which, that video I saw of Hillary Clinton trying to tuck her tail away, that could be her just poking her intestines back into place after getting butt fucked by the globalist.
I mean, that or it could just be, her tucking her mangina away.
Who? I really don't want to think about that.
Well, I mean, come on, now we've got Bruce and Manshell. I mean, who's to say Hillary Clinton wasn't the first? That's why she was allowed to actually call the shots in the White House, because everybody knew she was the real man. Bill Clinton was actually the woman man.
Jesus Christ.
It has nothing to do with this conversation. And he probably would want nothing to do with this conversation. I didn't make them. They're not mine.
Jesus Christ is probably sitting up there himself right now going, God, why do y'all have to keep talking about her?
Because she becomes more relevant every year somehow. Her and her allies.
What I want to know is how she made it to such liberal prominence. She is literally everything the liberals preach against.
Well, because the term liberal is something completely different now than what it used to be.
I mean, they scream and raise hell against racial injustice, against sexism, against xenophobia, all that shit. But Hillary Clinton has been on record many, many times calling black people slaves and the N word repeatedly. Just like during the election process, she was on record in an email saying, "We need the slaves and the tacos votes."
Well, I mean, the thing is, she's a moron, and like anything she says or does is technically considered gold amongst. It's not even, dude. There is no such thing as liberals or anymore. Like the whole meaning of words has been swapped around. Like technically, somehow now I'm considered a white nationalist, no matter
Right.
what I say or do. And like I would be considered like far right, even though like I have no real ideals with the right, other than I believe that like I don't e- I don't associate with the right because I don't believe anything should be one specific way or another. I think everybody should be free to do whatever the fuck they want to do as long as it doesn't harm them or any kind of children in the process.
Yeah.
You know?
Do
The
what you
fucking
want as
kids
long as you don't.
alone and do whatever the hell you want to do with your life.
Yeah.
You know? If you want to cut your dick and balls off, that's fine, but don't tell my kids that they need to do it. And don't
Right.
make my child feel bad because he was born with a dick just because you don't like dicks.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, I have a problem with.
My thing is, it's not a crime to be straight. It's not a crime to be white. And it's not a crime to be a man.
No, I meant there are some guys out there that get away with some shit that I think they should definitely not be allowed to get away with. And to an extent, it's that bro code bullshit. But you know what? Like that, I mean, if a guy's fucking up, like if a dude tells you that like he fucking took advantage of a chick at a party or something, well, if you're a true guy, then it's your obligation to smash his teeth in right then and there.
Absolutely.
I mean, like, not every guy supports like the bullshit we see these fucking sports fucking celebrities and all these people doing like dog fighting and raping chicks and shit like that. Not every guy's okay with all that bullshit that happens. Like,
I'm sure the hell ain't.
in the media on that shit, because not every guy's out to get you, and that's a big
Yeah.
thing. Feminism's one of the biggest things like in the mainstream right now, and I don't understand why women have more rights than men. All you have to do is go talk to a guy that's on child support, and he'll tell you all about women's rights.
Oh yeah. Hell, I'm on
I
child
mean,
support.
shit, my position with child support. Like, I have less rights than the roaches that roam around this shitty ass apartment complex.
Yeah.
I mean, out there. People are focused on the wrong things. They think that we like, oh, y'all talk shit about the elites, and then y'all play into the system. We're just as trapped in it as you are because we can't. Two people alone can't shake down the system.
Right.
It requires force. It requires strength in numbers, and right now, not even the right. Just consider it like the revolution of people's movement doesn't have, because it's not really. I don't care if you're on the right, the left, the center, the fucking in between, outside. I don't really care where you stand as long as you understand that like shit's fucked up and that people are being taken advantage of. Like, and in a whole, as you know, like just in general, everyone's being taken advantage of. Women, children, old people, everybody. We're all being screwed over by a system that doesn't care about us. And that needs to be fucking addressed.
I mean,
Call me whatever you want, but I feel like that's an issue that should probably be addressed within our society.
absolutely.
We call ourselves a first world civilized society and say that we're better than everyone else. Like, shouldn't we have some proof to back that up?
That's exactly what I was about to say. If we're so much better than everybody else, why don't we get off our asses and prove it?
Well, because that requires effort that people aren't willing to put out, man. I mean, half of these people that you listen to complaining about they want this free or they want that free, these are people that don't understand the value of a day's work. They don't want to work because it's too much of a challenge to get out there and do something for themselves. Like, it would require an effort to be put out that they feel is not worth their time. And that's the generation that's been raised now. These people feel like it's just not worth their time to do anything productive, so they're not going to.
But why is it not
I
worth their
think
time?
that's one of those things where we have ourselves to blame for that in a way. Like, even my generation, because while we were watching the shit going on, we were the ones getting the video games ourselves, so we didn't take, you know? We didn't fight the system when we had the chance, and now it's too fucking late,
And see, that right there is exactly why
you
I
know?
believe we should dissolve the government completely. Make it to where they don't have these handouts from the government. Make it to where they have to do something productive. Otherwise, they starve to death.
Well, I mean, granted, there are people with disabilities. I'm not going to say that there's no reason for some of the benefits out there that people get from the government. It is necessary to an extent, but to an extent, the people should also be held accountable to, like if your family member's disabled and they're getting government help, then you should be required to do something to produce
Yes.
within that society.
Yes.
You feel me? Like, It should fall on you to take the place of the person that can't work if you truly care about that person.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're going to have to pay a fee for the help you get. Why? Because it's not fair for everyone else to be busting their ass while you collect assistance but provide nothing. I mean, that's what the problem we have right now is there's too many people that get all this assistance but they provide nothing in return except for a bad attitude, and we don't fucking need that.
Not at all.
And I mean, overall, what do you think? I mean, what do you see coming out of 2018 just from the shit that you've already seen coming out?
I see 2018 being an extremely violent year. I do believe this will be the year that we go to war with Korea or North Korea. Um, I see that there's going to be a lot more corruption in the government exposed, a lot more, um, a lot more exposure to the globalist, and I think this is going to be the year that the UN comes out on top.
What do you mean by the UN coming out on top?
I think this is finally going to be the year that the UN asserts their dominance over the nations.
Mm, that could be very true. They're trying to.
Exactly.
Well, it's
They're
really they're
pushing.
trying to assert Israel's dominance over the nations.
Exactly.
They're trying to get the rest of the world to pretty much say we exist for Israel and that's all.
Yes.
Which, I mean, what is your take on this whole Israel situation?
I think if you support Israel, you're a fucking idiot.
What do you feel about Trump's stance?
Trump's a fucking idiot.
I like that.
I mean, you know me, I don't sugarcoat anything. How I feel is what I'm going to throw out there. But no.
Well, you noticed I called it. I said from the get-go that the shit was going to happen the way it did.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that I didn't want to believe in Trump. It's just fucking, and you can only be blind for so long.
Exactly.
Eventually, you got to wake up and smell the fucking coffee. And I mean, I really wish we could just like one day come onto this channel and say, it's all over. Like, fucking, we don't have to worry anymore. Like, but fucking, I highly doubt it. By the time, like, I just don't see it. You'll never hear that. If you do, it's because our channel got taken over. Because
Now, if someone comes in and holds a
I
gun to my
just,
head, then I'll probably be like, yeah, we're good. Globalism's no more. But otherwise, I'm going to fight till I die.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, I wish I could say it's done and over with, man. And I wish I could see a way out of it all, but I just don't, man. Fucking, the cards are too well played at this point. Like,
Yep.
they fucking set everyone up, and we fell for it. It's a shitty realization, but fucking, that's the way it went down. We all fell for it.
I
We
will
were too
say,
busy trying to.
I will say that Trump was the biggest brainwashing card that the elites could have threw out.
Oh yeah, I mean, they gave us what everybody was wanting. Everybody wanted something different. They wanted to see somebody go up that was supposedly against the system, and they gave the people what they wanted to see.
Yep.
And a lot of people drank the Kool-Aid, man. I even did for a short period of time there, but
Oh, I did too.
yeah, I mean, I got to give Alex Jones his props. He was the main reason I woke up so fast to it because just the minute he jumped on the Trump train, like there was no evil this man could ever do, that's when I immediately realized that it couldn't be trusted at all, man. He had his puppets out there just like the other guys have their puppets out there.
Yep. I'm still just trying to figure out which side of
I
the
mean,
globalist elite that Trump's playing for.
well, that's just the thing. I mean, I think he's actually playing for the Rothschilds and them. It was that one move with Israel kind of told me everything I needed to see to know that I can't trust him now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the minute he did that, it kind of let us know exactly where he stands, you know?
What
And
was the
as much as I hate
significance?
to say it,
Like, what was the
and
significance?
with, huh?
What was the significance of the whole naming Jerusalem as the capital thing?
According to a lot of people, it's big biblical prophecy, but another thing is it basically would give them more, like Jerusalem, more rights as far as it goes. Like now, Israel technically, biblically has a like they can say, oh well, this is prophecy, so whatever we say, it has to happen now because that's the way it was written. We're God's chosen people. This is God's chosen land. Thou shalt do what Israel says. You know.
So it's basically for the religious dominance.
Yeah, in a way, like it just established a lot of people's beliefs. You feel what I mean? Like, I mean, it may have more significance than that, but that's the way I see it, you know?
I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, I'm not the guy that makes the puzzles. I'm just trying to put them together.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like as far as it comes with, and when it comes to Israel, that's like one of those puzzles that I don't even quite understand myself because I don't understand how Americans can be anti this, anti that. We go to war over this supposed war crime, that supposed war crime for this nation and that nation, but then we watch Israel do everything, and it's like, oh, but they're Jews. It's totally fine because, Hitler and stuff.
Well, I mean, Trump's definitely playing for the Zionists. That's obvious.
I'm trying to explain that to somebody who watches Alex Jones. Because, I mean, you've got people like him and Paul Joseph Watson out there that have convinced everybody that the biggest conspiracy out there is that Zionist Jews exist.
And I mean, they're not completely wrong on that. That is a huge conspiracy. But I mean, in all reality, that's just what it is, reality. I mean, it's obvious. They don't try to hide it.
Yeah, but technically, none of us really have the proof we would need to prove that Zionism exists. You feel me?
Well,
It's all technically just hearsay.
Zionism is very open. Like, everybody knows it exists. It's just
But not in the way that we say it does. You feel
right,
me?
right.
Like, nobody has that kind of proof, which is what everybody wants. They want proof that there's, evil Jews trying to steal the world, but they're not really Jews at all. That's the thing about Zionism. It's fake Judaism. Anybody can choose to be a Zionist.
Right.
So I think that's a significant point of the whole Israel thing. Is like now Zionism has control they need. You feel me?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, again, I'm just trying to put pieces of the puzzle together. I could be wrong on everything, but doesn't happen all that often. As much as I wish I could say it does, it doesn't happen all that often.
I've actually looked into it. In order to be a Zionist, you have to be pro-Israel, and you have to be pro-Greater Israel at that. So I mean,
Well, that would
Israel.
explain a lot of what we see happening on the world stage now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
But again, it's trying to get people to see it, man, and a lot of people just don't want to see it because that shakes up their perception of the world around them, and they don't like that. I mean, that's one reason I think channels like ours and other people that do what we do don't really take off that much as a channel that's talking about absolute bullshit that has no relevance to anyone's life.
Right,
It's because
because
like
we go
the
against
kind
the
of shit
grain.
we talk about makes you think and it makes you question whether or not you've been lied to. And then people, like, if you find out you have been lied to, well, then you have to come to terms with the fact that your parents, your teachers, your government, everybody lied to you. And a lot of them were in on it. They knew it was a sham, but they still lied to your face. I mean, that's kind of what, like, in a way, this episode, the reason it's going on so long is because, like, this is kind of like the new direction of Metal Truthers in a way. Like, I want the whole direction of the channel is to get people to start thinking more and to just basically acknowledging you're good people are going to have to accept the fact that a lot of this has been a sham, like as far as like what we've been told from the get-go. It's all bullshit for the most part. Like we've been being lied to, and it's not, we wish we could blame our parents, but it's not their fault. They were lied to, you know? They were taught to believe the same lies we were. And you know, it fucking sucks because it's getting to that point where it's almost too little too late. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like the Zionists, whatever you want to call them, everybody, all these evil structures, whatever you want to name, you want to feed them, they're getting more power than they should have. They're getting more power than they need,
yes,
you know? And it's becoming detrimental to society for these things to exist.
absolutely.
I mean,
But my laptop is down to about 10% battery, so I think we need to go ahead and kill this one off. We will definitely pick up on this again tomorrow.
alrighty.
I know I said tomorrow, last episode we did, but a lot of shit happened.
And it's been like a week.
Yeah, a lot of
I feel
crazy
it,
shit.
dude. That's kind of how my life is.
But
It's not
yeah,
really that a lot of shit happens, it's just a lot of frustrating shit happens in my life on a day to day basis.
exactly.
And once I get too frustrated, I can't be focused on an episode. I'll just get mad.
Yeah, same
You know?
here.
But I mean, overall, like we said, we just want people to keep an open mind. And that's what the point of this channel is to get people to think. Think about, you know, the fact that the world may not be as cut and dry as you thought it was. You know, it's not like
That
I said, we can't get mad and blame your parents because oh well they lied to us and they fed us into the system. Well, they didn't fucking know either. I mean, not too many fucking people knew that this was the way the governments were going to turn out. You know,
yes, that, and we want to give you the information for you to do your own research, to open your own mind up.
exactly. Like it's for you to think outside the box. If you feel like something's not right, then by God, step up, say something about it. You know, I mean, that's the whole point of being an American, right? Is so that you can stand up and say something when you feel like the world's not going right.
Absolutely.
But anyway, we're gonna keep it kill it off here. Keep it real. Keep it metal. And